I I will just I won't go on my tangent about technology. I was about to be like, oh my goodness, it's just but it's I now I just sound stupid and old. It's like, yeah, it changes every year. And oh, it gets
Yeah,
faster every year. It's not that crazy. It's like it's not changing so fast that you just can't keep up. But it feels like that because
yeah,
when I was in school and I was learning all this stuff of how to create websites, all this was like new. YouTube was
no
considered a cool new thing. And
thing.
now it's considered like a staple of everyday life.
Life.
Um, but I guess, so who are you and what is the website that you built and or like because I was intrigued by, I've seen people try to do this and it's never really worked in the sense that what people are trying to do. And I want
Yeah,
to see that change for you because you're basically building a system that's sort of a portal where artists, writers, everybody involved in comics can come together and
yeah,
then sort of hire each other through this platform.
yeah,
So what is it and who are you? What made you decide to build it? And like, where do you want to go with it?
yeah. So my name is Enrico Bryan. I am 20 years old. I'm from Jamaica. And I got this idea recently, like last year recently, not even 1 year old now. So I got into comics recently because I've read a lot of Golden Age stuff, back in the day stuff, and I really like comics. Yeah, so go enter this community on X, Twitter. So I realized that everyone is like reaching out randomly to people for collaborations and all that stuff. And it idea just came to me like a light bulb pop came to me. And I threw it out and a lot of people liked it. A lot of people liked it so far. So I did a MVP. I built an MVP on software. That's a no code app. And I was like, yes, but I am so small. I'm not getting any voice. My voice is not big enough. Yeah.
So you had initially had a different website built called Softer, and it wasn't, or was that, what is Softer again?
Software is a no code development tool. So I built it on software instead of coding it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So the platform you have now, which is CollabR, like collaborate, but with just with an R and
Yeah.
no E.
Yeah.
Um,
Collabor. Yeah. I call it
uh,
Collabor.
okay, and you built that on top of the Softer platform. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So all right, I'm gonna try to just piece through basically from my perspective of if this was my company, what to do next, and we can go back and forth on what are you doing, and then I'll say what I
Yeah.
think you could be doing and where the gaps are. So I'll start with saying the main way that people find artists nowadays, I want to say, is through another platform like Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah.
Um,
I realized that a lot.
it- it- so a lot of people will just post on Facebook groups or they'll use
Yeah.
Discord. So people will use things like Instagram or social media and they'll or Twitter X and they'll just put out these shout outs saying, here's who I'm hiring. Some people send me their portfolios. And that
Yeah.
works for the most part. The way I tell people to do it is you can just literally reach out directly to the artists that you want to work with by if you see their work on in bookstores or whatever,
Yeah.
uh, or even online, if, reading web comics, you just reach out to that artist because they usually have social media. And whenever people try to gather that, when I've seen at least twice, people try to create a platform just for comic creators. And what happens is everybody joins it, and then nobody goes there. So you'll get a lot of people that'll join your site, a writer, and then they'll fill in their information saying, this is what I've done, this is what I do. And then because there's nothing on those platforms keeping them engaged, that's the entire point of the value of things like Twitter is like why they're so valuable is because other people are there and they
Yeah.
do everything they can to keep people on the platform. That's why it's this whole war of people doing, is it videos that people want to watch? Is it whatever? Is it whatever? And aside from that, the main place that people stay or like get on is Fiverr, or these websites where creators can then just post that they have a specific offering for sale. Another one is Upwork, and they just say,
Yeah.
I'm a work for hire artist and you can hire me for this price. Um, and and that's the thing is like, well, why don't, like what you could do is like Collabor is, well, why don't you just capture those individual people and
Yeah.
bring them to just the comic focused people. So anybody that's looking for like a comic book artist or writer, they're all just in this one spot. They don't have to go to this broad thing and try to get somebody from overseas that maybe has done comics, but mostly what they do is whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what I've seen, and I'm not saying I have the answer, but that's the main problem is you can't keep someone there because uh, there's just nothing. Once I'm on, let's just say I'm on the Collabor, I sign up, I'm there, and unless someone reaches out to me and says I want to hire you, that there's no real incentive for me to go on there or anything like that because I'm not necessarily looking to hire anybody else. So then it kind of ends. So it's kind of like the your main driver is you need a lot of people using your platform trying to hire creators. And
Yeah.
so you're going to have to find that market and drive them to your platform. Otherwise, it just uh, won't last, I guess, or won't work. So do you have what's your idea, or like what is that the the bottleneck, so to speak, or the hard part from what you've seen, or what's your next step?
So I was going to do the Fiverr thing, but I had to test it first because I didn't want to just build a full product and no one uses it. So I would build it, the MVP first and launch it. Then wanted to see the response of people. If they like the design or stuff, then I would take it further and build it on a different platform where I can get the incentive like the commission sales and the transaction sales and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the actual like technical aspect of how you can profit from
Yeah.
it as well. Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's where I've like what I've considered is, or whenever people come to me with problems like this, it's almost always you have to have the audience or like the eyeballs first. So it's almost like
First.
if
Yeah.
you already had a successful blog or something like that, where you had a lot of people that were coming to it, then you could capture that audience and then convert it to where you now bring them directly through just like dragging their emails that into an email list that then puts or like requests to have them join your platform or
Yeah.
whatever. um and if you don't have that audience, you can buy it or partner with someone that does. So it's almost
Yeah.
like you would have to then like take Collabor and partner with some kind of YouTuber like me or something, somebody that has some kind of
Yeah.
audience and be like, hey, can you
Audience.
help me bring on everyone in your network to see if they'll want to join this? Because then once
Yeah.
you have that network, then you would then have to practice or this is actually what I'm testing out right now is once you have the audience, how do you get them to engage with each other? And I'm trying that out right now with Facebook groups. That I'm having the issue of my audience is on YouTube, so they don't want to leave YouTube. They don't go to
YouTube. Yeah.
Facebook, so they're just like, just talk to me on YouTube. And they reach out to me directly through YouTube, or through like email, which is on my
Email. Yeah.
YouTube. So they're like, I'm not going to move over to Facebook, and talk to people on Facebook if I can already talk to them here. Um,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the beauty of YouTube. And it's the same with like your platform. So it's kind of like if your offer would have to make it really easy for someone
See.
that's a creator to get paid, like Fiverr does, to where
Yeah.
so it's almost like if I'm, if I partnered with you and then let's say somebody else partnered with us, we took, now you have 2,000 subscribers that converts to maybe 200 people that care and maybe 45 people join Collabor. Now you have
Yeah.
those 45 people. Well, who's going to buy their services? Now you have to basically pay for advertising or something to find people looking for those services, or advertise on our YouTube channel or something like that, saying, hey, if you guys are looking for artists, I have them all right here. There, and then you just So that's where it might be helpful if you actually create a working prototype that makes it easy for creators to get paid.
Yeah.
But then that's the hard part is like now you're taking a cut. Basically, there's a bunch of middlemen in between now is because once you're partnered with other people to get that audience, they're going to want to cut too, because essentially you're the
Yeah.
one that's bringing the value or whatever. Yeah, it's a tough thing to do. I could ramble about this stuff forever because this is my territory is kind of, I don't know, building
Yeah.
businesses that don't work. But not saying yours won't, but it's just like I've done a lot of trial and error on a lot of different things, and some stuff works,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff doesn't.
Some
Yeah.
person. That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, you can go on. Now you can rant.
Yeah, so I was like I wanted to create a community, right? Everyone interacts on X. That's why I built a profile. I was like, I could make people draw and show off their artwork while bringing in new. So like for new and old artists, encourage the new artists to come in while following the old artists. Artists, yeah. So they like, if you understand, like I would allow people to draw, like give them a theme for a month to draw, like who win for that award, get an award, like a small award for who win that time to boost, encourage new artists to join the platform. Yeah.
So so you're going to try to use X to sort of build a community and then use sort of that kind of incentives on that platform to then you have them use Collabor to solve that uh whatever event online or platform or
Yeah.
that's a good way to do it. I guess like I was did you watch my I had an interview with the creator of the series Meet Dioro, and he's from the Netherlands. Did you happen to catch that at all?
No, I only
It-
watched their two latest video about the manga video, and the other video
oh,
about
okay.
yeah, only
Well,
the two latest video.
yeah, I can't remember when I do things, but probably like a month ago, I interviewed a creator that he actually built his audience before he create like in the process of creating a series. Um, and he did that by essentially hiring people to draw his character. And this
Yeah.
contest of basically saying like the best one, the best artist or the best like rendition of my character will win the job of actually drawing this series. That contest brought in a huge audience of artists, and he was able to sort of basically could do like in a similar thing what you might could consider doing is on Twitter is basically throwing a contest where it's
Yeah.
I don't know, in some way, shape, or form to where you shout it out to all the artists, but the only way for them to, be fulfilled on it is they have to sign up for your platform. So it's kind of like to
Platform. Yeah.
enter this contest where you could potentially win the role of being hired to do a series, is they have to submit their application or submit their portfolio and sign up for Collabor. Um,
Yeah.
then you could do like a series of different things like that, a contest with artists, a contest with writers. um yeah, but it's one of those things where it just takes a lot of time. And that's the thing
Time. Yeah.
is like it and but you can just like anything, if you start really small, like you just are going to start with like a certain portion of artists and creators to where it's like you can either try to go after the very top artists so that their credibility brings new ones on. Uh,
Yeah.
but that might be tough to do. So you could then go the other direction and bring on mostly amateurs and literally reach out directly to people on Twitter, on Instagram, and say, "Hey, I see that you are an artist, and I have a good list of writers that are looking to hire artists. Would you want to be a part of my platform and potentially get hired?" And reach out directly to people who would be willing to at least sign up. What can they lose? It's not like you're going to steal their data or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
usually gather people that way. But then once again, you have to, the real hard part is you have to find the people that are willing to pay first. Um, and that might be done best if you partner with them directly, to where if the incentive is somehow they maybe join and will, maybe you partner with them to where you paid half of the artists for a series or something, so that I'm not exactly sure the best way, but once again, you always have to invest either money or time or some kind of
Yeah.
crazy risk. Um, and that might be one way to convince like the writers to be a part of it, is almost to where you're paying artists first, or at least in partnership with writers that are joining on through these contests and things like that. Um, you could all, but yeah, I feel like the key aspect though is you have to have a really clean website that's almost enjoyable for the creators to want to be on, and easy for them to communicate with each other. Here's the other problem though. I've used a lot of platforms like this for filmmakers and screenwriters, and what happens is the once the writer and artist connect, they just leave the platform, so that they just they communicate with each other, they argue the price down, and then they're off the platform and they don't have to give you your cut for finding them
Yeah.
there. Um, and that's why you'll see on Fiverr, they're always, anytime you're messaging creators, they don't let you enter in emails or links to websites.
Yeah.
They're and people still do it. You can work around it. But yeah, that's another technological factor that you have to try to break through as well.
Yeah.
As simple as it seems like a problem that you're solving, there it's actually a hard problem to solve.
Yeah, that's true.
What else do you have going on? Have you written anything? I think you were saying that you've written stuff, but you don't have anything published, right?
Yeah, I don't have anything published.
Um, but have you worked with artists before? Like, have you created any web comics or anything like that? So you
I
basically
haven't
just got
created
into
anything.
comics and were like, you know what? Before I get into comics, I'm going to try to build a business in the comic community.
Really, yeah.
That's a tough one, but I have faith. What
Yeah.
else you got going on, or what else do you want to talk about?
I don't have anything else. It's just it's just an idea, yeah. I wanted to expand it as well, because you have other like other creators that can benefit from other like 3D modelers. They can benefit, create comic creators can benefit from them as well.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and it's funny how often that's what I found, how you actually break into a broader, like as a writer, how you break into a bigger market to where you can make more of a living as a writer, is you find these kind of platforms where people first hired you to write a short story, but then they hire you to write a screenplay. And then they say, hey, can you actually write comics as well? And then they'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
well, if you can write comics, can you turn that into a video game? And then you end up writing in all these different mediums. And it all starts with, whatever, it starts with one thing, and then you build credibility that way. And then you can move into whatever other medium people are working in. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I guess yeah, step one is trying to just be ingrained in the community itself. To try
yeah,
just you'll have to build credibility in the space as a fan or some kind of expert in some way, shape, or form of the industry, so that people will be driven to try to be a part or use your services or whatever.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I also
Sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I have building as well on Instagram. I post their profile, like their rates and their profile and their artwork for artists, because that's me, that's who I've contacted so far on Instagram.
Just
So
artists.
I build like a small graphic on Canva and post it on Instagram about with their info and stuff.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to be consistent for a long time in order to build
Time,
a
yeah.
following that has enough merit or authority, as they call it on the internet, to continue to drive traffic there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's slowly one person at a time. That's really it. If you can get one new artist a day, that's 365 artists. That's 365 posts. Uh,
Yeah.
like that's a lot of content just right there, and potential
Yeah.
clients as well. Yeah, another way you could do it is you can sort of draw people to your platform by offering services for free in a sense. So you would basically come up with something that is like, hey, if you join my platform, I'll give you this list of, I'll give you a list of page rates and stuff that other people are charging. Something that someone might
Right.
know, will want to know
No,
is like,
yeah.
well, what does someone in my field make at this level? Some people just might want to know what they're worth by looking at what other people are worth, and you can give people a list of like, here's what the current page rates for salaries today, and you just give that for free, and people will want to know that kind of stuff. That's why I make YouTube videos and stuff on it. And maybe not that specific thing, but something along those lines of just like a downloadable item, or to where so people are like, okay, I'll join your platform and I'll get this free information that I want,
Yeah.
and then at the same time in that downloadable thing that you gave them, it ends with like a call to action that helps keep them on the platform. So then they say,
Platform,
hey,
yeah.
you put at the end like, if you share this platform with other writers or other artists that are looking for work, you can get something else for free or get a discount or whatever on the platform.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what
Affiliate.
they'll probably do, is like, instead of trying to take a cut from each person's sale, is you just have to charge people monthly to use the platform. It'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
if I pay $9 a month for the platform, all I need is one, sale from this, and it pays it off. And as long as you
Wow.
can actually get people that sale to where you would almost want to have to work behind the scenes trying to actually push writers and artists together. I'm not
Yeah.
sure the best way to go about doing that, but it's that's really how it works. Is if you can get people on the platform and then they make money on the platform, they will pay for the platform. Like, plain
Platform,
and
yeah.
simple. And it's not that hard to get people onto it. Like I said, if you offer them something for free, the hard part is then actually getting people to pay, or like finding, the right each
Well,
other. And that might be where you have to do a bunch of research yourself, to where, or like partnering with someone that knows, to where you basically essentially are, your job as behind, once you've built the platform, is you now have to create or find leads. Like, you have to go out and you go on Twitter and you go on Instagram and you go on all these social media platforms and Facebook groups, and you look up who's all asking for work and who's all asking for talent, and then you reach out to those people directly and say, hey, I've got a whole gang of people. If you want to look at their
people.
portfolios, you can just pick and choose. And so you basically then you're finding all the leads, creating a database, and then you can partner with someone else to reach out to those people on those, or you do it yourself on those platforms where people are searching for it. And then your like value is, you say, I have a whole database of a bunch of people's portfolios, that you can just
Yeah.
scroll through people's portfolios in the same way that MySpace used to be like that, where it was just bands and you just look through these like portfolios of people's albums and artwork and stuff like that, and just pick and choose. It's be the same. That's you're basically your real value is that you have a database of artist portfolios, and then all you do is
Yeah.
that when people ask to who's interested in uh, working, you then just reach out to that writer or whatever and say, here's my database of portfolios, but you have to sign up to use it, and you get 1 month free. If you find an artist, good, you'll pay for it. If you don't find an artist, fine, but I'll give you a percentage if you refer somebody else to the platform or something like that.
Yeah. That's a good idea. It's a good idea.
I could talk forever and give good ideas, but it's just the hard part is actually going out and doing it. That's my
Wait,
thing. It's
yeah.
like, I don't have enough time. like to do everything. It's like once you get, I've done a lot of similar things to what you're trying to do, and you can get 80% of the way there, and it can just drive you crazy because you'll start to see a little bit of success here and there. People will join or whatever, but there you have to cross a certain threshold to where the business just sort of functions by itself. Like to get it to where it's just a functioning machine that just you put in quarters and you get dollars out. The amount of work to get that machine going, even if you're just putting in quarters and getting 26 cents out, it's like you made the machine work. You're making 1 cent profit. But just getting it into that zone requires so much time, and you have to risk basically not having a day job, not doing any other projects, solely focused on one project and being like, I'm going to make this work. It's all or nothing for 6 to 12, 18 months. And if you can't dedicate it all to that, then you're just trying to scrap here and there and do this and that. And you're like, okay. And yeah, so it's like I know the certain aspects that you can take to make these things work, but actually putting them into action is like it's just hard to do. And you can make it work for a little bit. That's the thing, is you might get this working, you get the machine running, you're making a little bit, but it just doesn't last. You sort of
Yes.
topped out. The market's not that big. Indie comics is notoriously small.
No, that's
So you can end up reaching out to everybody in a year, and then you might capture 10% of that market. You might capture, half of it. But eventually, unless it's functioning really well, it's hard to make it grow.
yeah. So would you be up for a partnership?
I'll help you out however I can, man, as long as I have the time. And so
That's cool.
however we want to make that work, we can talk off screen. Like basically, I'll give you, uh the kind of it advice like this as I can. And
Yeah,
then I'll give you, as many people that come to me looking for, um, artists or something like that.
yeah,
I'll tell them like, this guy's got a database. That's basically what I'll say. So I'll basically refer people to you. But when it
yeah.
comes to anything technical, I won't be able to help you on that
No,
side. That's all
that's
you,
that's
but through the YouTube channel and stuff, I can have you be like a sponsor, and I can, however we want to make it work to where I get some kind of kickback. Yeah,
yeah,
sure. I'd be happy to promote you all day.
yeah. That's good. Thank you very much. Yeah,
So yeah, I guess we'll end it on that note, and I'll say you're officially a sponsor, at least for this video, for Collabor, and I'll put all the information in the links and stuff like that. And
yeah. Thanks.
anything else, yeah, you know where to find me. Thanks a lot for coming on, man. And if you have
Yeah,
anything else, yeah, just if you do have a comic series or something like that, aside from
yeah,
this, as you get further into this space, yeah, you're welcome to come back on.
yeah. That's thank you.